First off, it was a good meeting. It was very well attended. It was good to see some of our local DPW and select board folks there as well. People from Mansfield, North Attleboro, Norfolk in particular. We had updates from EPA and the DEP to start. Nothing really encouraging there. They were very firm in we intentionally set an aggressive limit, but we wanted certainty around what people have to work to and plan to, and that's the 2029 4-part per trillion PFAS limit, which is coming from the EPA and will be enforced by DEP. We had presenters from Massachusetts Waterworks Association and from a law firm representing a couple of towns that are already in various stages of compliance work, really projects that had started when the limit was 20 from DEP, but still it was interesting to hear some of their challenges and some of their successes, but some of the problems that we're going to be facing as well. There were some communities that already have GAC systems online now at the well level, a couple of large wells in Mansfield and North Attleboro. Early results are good there. I'm hoping to find something that they are worth quoting, if you will. Finally, we had a speaker on new technologies, which I was very anticipating, with a lot of excitement. Is the new technologies that were discussed focused a lot on landfill leachate, on waste management, and on reducing PFAS that's entering the environment. Overall, a good session. They had a Q&A at the end. The Congressman opened up some questions. My question was fundamentally one that was shared by a lot of people there. You set an arbitrary deadline 5 years out. You've got a limited number of suppliers. You've created an artificial inflationary environment where supply chain is very limited. What can you do? What can the feds do to improve the supply chain? And what can the regulatory agencies do to look at staggering compliances so that not every town has to be in at 2029? So we relieve some of the time pressure, which will relieve financial pressure. Congressman thought it was a good question. The EPA guy didn't think it was such a good question. He said, regulatory certainty is the way to go to drive innovation, but I told him 5 years is nothing. You think 5 years is way out there, that means we have to be planning now. It was good, and the networking contacts were good, and a couple of things I carried away, things I can look at for more information I think were interesting, but no magic bullets yet. The best piece, I don't know if I can say this, the best piece was the conversation I had with a representative from SRF, who talked about, he and I talked afterwards about funding, and particularly in light of what had happened with Scituate. I said, what happens if we don't come in at the price we're going to want? Is SRF open to us extending that in a second round of funding next year to make up any difference? And he said yes. So that was at least mildly encouraging.
Open to talking about it, yeah.
Open to talking about it. No commitments, but he said,
That was going to be my main question, was there any open public discussion about the shocking cost of this as people are now getting...
Yes, everybody's in shock. And the Congressman said, there's a lot of pressure on the feds to find more money. The question is going to be, where are they going to direct that money ultimately? Some of it will be relief for towns. Some of it's going to be driving more technology, driving improvements in supply chain. Sadly, I don't think some of the things that would be practical, like driving better testing and driving, staggering out the time frames, so we took some of the pressure off. I don't think those two things are going to happen, sadly. But it was a good start.